90s Retro Return.
Many kids from the 80s through today are familiar with parts of their schools being sectioned off throughout the year to host Scholastic Book Fairs. In case you're unfamiliar with this event, the company Scholastic delivers books and merchandise to schools in rolling cases that transform into bookshelves. Students can then visit the fair with their classes to buy books, posters, toys, and stationery, and the school earns a percentage of the total sales. The school can later choose to take this reward as cash or Scholastic dollars, which they can use to purchase books and materials directly from Scholastic for their libraries and classrooms. If you loved reading, the book fairs could be a goldmine of treasure to be found as long as your parents gave you enough money. Even if you weren't an avid reader, you could still go there to find stuff to play with or decorate your room. In the days before online shopping, social media, algorithms, and YouTube, Scholastic Book Fairs were the place to discover new books and possibly even find your favorite new author. It's actually where I discovered Calvin and Hobbes for the first time, and I still have some of the books that say Scholastic where the barcode would normally go. You might go there and get a new R.L. Stine or Berenstain Bears book, or a Lamborghini poster, maybe a Pokémon handbook, and some fruit-scented markers, and then see what your friends bought and compare. Scholastic began in 1920 when Maurice "Robbie" Robinson published a Western Pennsylvania Scholastic from a sewing room in his parents' home in Wilkinsburg, Pennsylvania. Scholastic officially adopted and first published Clifford the Big Red Dog, who would later become their mascot in 1963. However, Scholastic didn't enter the in-school book fair business until the early 1980s after buying a California book fair operation. Scholastic supplied the books, display cases, planning materials, and inventory, and then schools would host the event. The book fairs overlapped with a huge era for children's book series like The Babysitter's Club and Magic School Bus that took off in 1986, I Spy and Goosebumps in 1992, Animorphs in 1996, Captain Underpants in 1997, and the US publication of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in 1998. Once a year when the book fair came to my school, I'd buy all the Calvin and Hobbes, Where Are They, and Fear Street books that I could afford, but throughout the year, our teacher would also hand out catalogs from the Troll Book Club, who were Scholastic's main rivals at the time. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Troll Book Club, your teachers would hand out a Troll Book catalog that would show the latest books, posters, and sometimes even trading cards available. You would take it home and check off all the books that you wanted, and if your parents approved, you'd stuff the order form into an envelope with cash or a check and then hand it in to your teacher. Then one day, everything you ordered would arrive at your classroom and it felt like a mini birthday. The Troll catalog didn't have as many of the big hits of books, but they were handed out more frequently throughout the year, so it was kind of a big part of many people's childhoods that they remember. Unfortunately, the Troll Book Club would eventually crumble. They were once worth $130 million, but they were forced to sell off its book fair business to Scholastic in 2001 and ultimately file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2003. What were some of your fondest memories of book fairs in school as a kid? Comment below and let me know, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos where I return to 90s retro pop culture.